Well, hey guys, it's Jessica. I'm trying to be quiet because my daughter's like finally napping, but it's actually later in the day. I'm in Disney World. I literally can see the castle right there. So here I am editing this video, and I realize I have like black stuff all over my eye for the first bit of it because I had run out of makeup remover. I'd brought some makeup remover wipes and I ran out, and we had like one more day. So I'm like, I'm not buying more wipes. Like I won't use them once I get home because I don't really like them. Anyway, so I figured I would do a get ready with me. I've kind of made it a habit to do get ready with me when I travel, whether it's to Disney, which we do a couple times a year, but also to other places in the world that we like to travel. So I figured I would keep the tradition alive. I have done another one in Disney from earlier this year. I can link below and up in the eye. And then I also did one in Alaska. I will also link below and in the eye because that one was really cool. And you could like literally see glaciers behind me because I was getting ready like on the balcony. So I've got my coffee. I'm the weirdo that like brews coffee at like 5 p.m. but here we are. I figured I'd show you guys what I've been doing pretty much every day here in Disney. I did buy some new makeup at Sephora. I pulled a few of the things out of the Sephora bag, but a lot of them I'm really just planning on taking home and playing with there. So you're really not gonna see those today. I did adjust what I brought a little bit based on what you might have seen if you saw my packing video from last week. But the first thing I'm gonna throw on is this Wonder Beauty Glow Ahead Illuminating Face Oil. And it's kind of like a glimmery oil, but it's really lightweight. And so it just ends up like sinking into the skin in like 2 seconds. Like it's already pretty much sunk in. But I just feel like it's a nice layer of moisture, but it doesn't feel tacky. It doesn't feel oily or greasy or slippery. It's really unique in that way. I don't notice like a huge amount of shimmer or anything like that, so don't let that throw you off, but I have been enjoying it, and honestly, I think I'm like halfway through this already. The other thing I've been throwing on, I have like a little baby travel size of the Tatcha Dewy Skin Cream, and they have this every once in a while as like a point perk from Sephora. I just feel like Sephora, their point perks they just need to rework their system, right? Like Ulta's system is so much better, and I totally heard what you guys were saying when I did my top 10 at Sephora video during the kind of VIB sale thing that was like a few weeks ago. A lot of you guys were like, I just can't get behind Sephora's reward system. I'm like, I know, because Ulta's is so much better. So I've also been throwing on sunblock. This is the Cerave Ultralight Moisturizing Lotion. You guys know I've been using this a ton lately. I knew I would be too loud. Please fall back asleep. But I've been loving this stuff. It doesn't pill up under makeup. It's really lightweight. Oh, and I also brought the SheaMoisture Shea Butter Vegan Lip Balm. This is that stuff I recently shared in a video that's really, really thick, like weirdly thick. But it's really, I just got it in my mouth. It's really moisturizing. So, and it doesn't have a super strong smell, just kind of a shea buttery smell, but I like it. But one of you guys commented that when you were putting this on, you were squeezing it, and it literally was so thick that it popped like the back of it open, and I thought that was kind of funny. I mean, obviously that would stink, but that's how thick it is. It's so bizarre, but it's very nice. I have not had chapped lips like at all since starting using that. So the other thing I've been throwing on is the Milani Soft Focus Glow. I don't remember if I had originally packed this. I don't think I had. And to be honest, it was kind of bulky for travel. I probably should have depotted it in like a small little thing. But I just like putting this on, especially when I'm getting ready for the evening. But even when I was getting ready in the morning, I would put it on just to like my forehead area. And then I like putting it on my under eye, and then mostly my cheeks. I might dab a little bit on my nose and chin, but I really focus it in those regions. Because again, that's where I want to look glowy and dewy. And I do feel like it does make a difference. And obviously Milani, it's at the drugstore. It was still, if I remember though, kind of pricey, like I want to say like 10 or 12 bucks. I know Target usually has it the cheapest, especially online, just FYI. I love doing get ready with me's, and I really should do them more often. I don't know why I don't. I always feel like they're not a cop out, but like it's like a cheap idea. No, that sounds even worse. But I just feel like I'm being lazy when I do them, but at the same time, they're one of my favorite videos to film, and I know a lot of you guys enjoy them too, so I need to just like, frankly, they actually take a while to edit because I put the close-ups in, and so that, you know, it still takes me a normal amount of time to edit it like my other videos. Right. So this is where things get tricky. I did bring my Missha BB cream, shade number 23. I have been self-tanning. This is the first trip I actually brought self-tanner with me. However, I felt a lot more confident, and I'm not saying you have to be tan to be confident. Please don't read into this any more than what it is. All I'm saying is, when I put self-tanner on and I was wearing shorts, and I've talked to you guys about how uncomfortable I am in shorts, I felt so much more confident. I also brought more of a full coverage foundation. This is the NARS Natural Radiant Longwear Foundation. I really like this, I do. I don't think this wears very well in humidity. So I've been using this a lot more at night, like if I'm touching up when we come home in the middle of the day. Sometimes like I would not shower in the morning, but I'd shower like now in the middle of the day. And then I put this on, but putting this on in the morning all the way through a 100-degree day, absolutely not. Like it just doesn't hold up even on my nose within like a couple hours. So I definitely feel like I have to powder this in the heat. When I'm at home, especially if it's like spring or fall, I enjoyed using this in the spring. My shade is Mont Blanc. However, because I am a little more self-tanned, I brought the CoverFX custom cover drops. I kind of just guessed online. This is G medium 2. It's been doing an okay job, but it is a little bit more olivey, so it's not just right, but I'm only using it because I have the self-tanner on and it's just a little bit deeper. So I've just been squirting like 3 pumps on here and then getting a couple drops of this. Bear with me because when I first put this on, it won't match. But we'll get bronzed and glowy and we'll be just fine. I don't have a mirror. Who do I think I am? But I've just been tapping it on. It gives pretty darn good coverage. And the nice thing is if you're only using a few of the drops from CoverFX, it's a little bit pricier. However, this is one of the only formulas I've found that doesn't mess with the consistency of the actual foundation you're mixing it with very much at all. Like it's not noticeable. And that I like because some of them are thicker and so they do kind of change. Like if you have a foundation you love and all you need is a different shade, a lot of them will change the way the whole foundation performs. See what I mean? It almost made it a little bit more like greener or more yellow than like the kind of more, not even bronze, almost like reddish. Anyway, we'll make it all match here in a bit. So stop judging me. I can feel it. I can hear it from here. So the concealer I've been wearing pretty much every day is the Collab Concealer. It's all worn off. It just wears off really quickly. I've only had this a few months, but I have used it a lot. This is the shade Ivory and Sand. And I don't know, there's something about this concealer. It's so easy to use. You buy it from Sally's. I heard about this from the Taylor when we did our collab. I can link that video up above and below. That was so much fun. And the brush I brought is the Heavenly Luxe Angled Radiance number 10. This I usually use for foundation actually, but it also works really well for concealer. So it was kind of nice to bring because it was dual purpose, you know? But this concealer just blends in so freaking fast. Yeah, I just feel like that foundation sits awfully on my nose. I don't think I'll travel with this one again. I really don't. So then of course I brought my LA Girl Shady Slim Brow Pencil. You can get it at Ulta. It's like $5.99. I use the shade Brunette. I actually brought with me the Anastasia Dip Brow Pomade in Ash Brown. I only used it once. It's just a little bit more work. I love it. But again, if I'm trying to get ready quickly, that's not what I'm reaching for. This is really what I need. So while we're doing this, tonight we're staying at Bay Lake Tower. This is our very first time staying here. I got a message from someone that was kind of like, Jessica, I just feel like you're bragging about Disney and stuff. Like if you see my Instagram stories while we're here, I'm posting a ton like about what we're eating, what we're doing, where we're at, what ride we're riding. I do that because I've gotten a lot of feedback from you guys that you like seeing that, you know, especially if you're a Disney nerd like I am. I watch Instagram stories when people are in Disney and I will rewatch them. Like it makes you feel like you're there, and that's what I'm trying to impart to you guys. And I never ever want that to come across as braggy or not arrogant, that's not the right word, but never that I'm trying to brag. And so it got to the point where I was like, well then I'll just stop posting. But then I get so many messages like, no, like don't. So I don't know, I just feel torn, but I'm gonna keep posting because I know the majority, you know that's not why I'm doing it. I'm not trying to brag like, oh, and keep in mind too that my husband Tyler's a travel agent and he's a Disney travel agent. This is his job. The sun's coming in and it's really cool. It's like setting. So, we get different discounts. We're annual pass holders. So there are different things we do to save money / it is his job to know what's here, what's up and coming, and Star Wars Land just opened, which is why we're here. But, he also kind of feels like it's part of his job to have tried all the restaurants, and we've almost tried them all. So I share that part with you. So please know it's never that I am trying to brag or that I'm not ungrateful, but I hope that comes across. Oh, I bought this new, I don't have it with me, it's in the bathroom and I don't want to wake her up, but I bought this new, and it was expensive, Tatcha SPF. I can put a picture on the screen right now. I only used it once. I pulled it out and I was like, I want to use it. I bought it here while I've been in Disney. And I think that's what I had put it on, and the makeup on top of it looked so unbelievably bad. It was just pilling up everywhere and I was like, no. So I might return it. I want to try it maybe once or twice more. I don't want to just, quit on it right away, but It was awful. Like, it was really, ooh, that sun is really bright. Okay, I changed it a little bit. It's gonna be a little bit dark over here for a while, but it's better than just straight up sun. So, for my eyes, I brought the Revolution Pro Eye Elements eye primer in the core shade. It's definitely, I've mentioned this now I think once or twice, a dupe for MAC Soft Ochre Paint Pot, and to be quite candid, this is a fantastic eye primer. I've been using it all week, every single day, and it has, my eyeshadow does not budge in the heat. So this, I was like, wow, this is some powerful stuff, and I love that it provides a little bit of coverage, almost like a concealer if you're near my skin tone. I think they have at least one more shade. I don't know if they have two more, but it's just, it really gets the job done. So for my eyes, I adjusted what I brought. I remember I showed y'all that I was gonna do the 6 things, but I ended up bringing different shadows. I went back and forth, but I brought, I think, Satin Taupe, Ho, Braun, Vanilla, Rice Paper, and then Print. So I really did swap out a lot because I ended up bringing this little MAC palette. It's like sponsored by MAC. No, it's not. It's just because I recently tried a bunch more MAC and I did that video, so I'm just got MAC on the brain, you know? Anyway, but this is a limited edition. It was their Kabuki Doll eyeshadow palette, and it is so good, but I don't think you can still get it. So, but this had a lot of shimmers, which is why I swapped out shimmers from that. I'm gonna use Rice Paper first on my brow bone. I just love the sheen that gives. It's such a light sheen, but it's there. It catches the light so beautifully. And then I'm gonna grab Ho, H-A-U-X, and put that all through the crease. This has been like my everyday. I put this in the crease like pretty much every day I've been here. It's so easy. But I had a lot of feedback from y'all about MAC eyeshadows, and you're like, you know, they're just not all they're cracked up to be. I like them, but I agree that especially in this day and age, so many brands make really good shadows that it's like, you really don't need to spend the money unless you're like just dying, like there's a certain shade. But they are really blendable. But again, there's so many brands out there. So it just depends on what your cup of tea for shadows is, you know? I just said, you know what I mean, way too many times. I'm out of control. So then I'm gonna kind of go into this palette here. Again, I know a lot of you guys, but I'm just kind of grabbing like a shimmery shade. It's kind of a more bronzy shimmer. Ooh, a lot bronzy. Going to Hollywood Studios tonight, so I'm figure out, kind of dress a little, not necessarily dressing nicer. I am wearing a cute tank, but put a little more effort in. So I'm gonna grab MAC's Braun, just a matte, dark brown. Star Wars Land, or well, it's technically called Galaxy's Edge, opened while we were here, which is why we were here, really. We went crazy early in the morning open. Tyler has a video on his channel of it. It was so totally different than I expected. It was really, really cool. But we didn't end up writing anything because the lines were literally like 4 hours, and we were like, no way. Because we know the next time we come back, if this was your only time coming, absolutely, of course. And if we knew we weren't coming back, absolutely we would wait for it. But knowing that we'll be back probably in a few months, it just wasn't worth it because we know obviously the lines will eventually go down like it does with everything. The wait times, because of the hurricane that kind of came through, it didn't really make landfall here in Florida very much other than like wind and rain, you know, but nothing crazy. But the poor Bahamas, oh my gosh. The crowds are way lower because obviously people were like, well, my trip's coming up, but I'm not gonna go all the way down to Disney if there's a hurricane, and then flights were canceled and airports were closed. So the wait times have been super short, so we're hoping when we go tonight, we'll just kind of trade off, ride or switch with Gigi, so she can just stay with one of us, the other go ride it, and then we'll just trade back and forth. So we'll see if that happens. But I also want to see Fantasmic tonight. So for my liner, I'm going to use a gel liner. I kind of went between using like a brown pencil or brown shadow, but again, at night I like to use like a black one, kind of make more of a statement liner. I mean, as much of a statement as I'm going to make. Y'all, we're just gonna have to deal with the sun. So if you are around my age, older, did you ever have a moment or like a time where you suddenly were like, oh, like I have lines or I have wrinkles, like where it just almost feels like it happened overnight, or like within a week you're like, wait, where did these come from? That's how I felt this trip, where I'm like, whoa, like makeup's gathering weird in these lines. And like I'd always noticed them, but they just seem way more prominent right now than ever, and like my under eye. And I don't know if it's because I'm like getting ready twice a day, because again, Disney trips are just so different and you almost have to freshen up because you are so sweaty all day long. That aside, I just feel like this entire trip I've been like, whoa, like where did all these like lines come from? So then I grab like a NYX Epic Ink or my Revolution liquid liner. I happen to grab, because this is the one I have open right now, the Stila Stay All Day liquid liner. I also really like, this was a long love of mine. I've forgotten about, honestly, and I had it in my backup drawer and I was like, let's open that next. But I really love this, but I also really love the Makeup Revolution Renaissance one. Well, they sure aren't even, but that's just what's gonna happen tonight. All right, we're gonna do the mascara last. I've re-fallen in love with the Charlotte Tilbury Contour Wand. So you guys know I love like the Milk Makeup Baked Stick, and I love it with one of those like thicker brushes that are really easy to blend it in with. Well, I hadn't used this in a while, and every time I used to apply it, I was applying it with my like sponge. But it's amazing and fast blended in with a brush, and it just looks so like gorgeous and skin-like, and it doesn't add any more powder to the face. Like, so pretty. Like, I don't know what magic is in this formula, but I'll usually throw a little bit up there, blend that into the hairline, and it can seem so scary at first, but once you start blending it, it's like, oh yeah, like it just looks like supermodel-y. You know what I mean? So I just like a new, it's almost gone, to be honest, and I was bummed about that because I'm like, dang, that's expensive. I ended up bringing this Ulta Beauty cream blush in Sunrise. Y'all, this is just as beautiful as like the Flower Beauty blush bombs. Absolutely like the exact same type of formula. So I like to just grab a stipple brush, like the one from e.l.f. I think this one's from Morphe, the M404, there's my mirror. And I just put it on, and again, it just looks so skin-like. Oh my gosh. But I don't think this withstands the heat, so we're gonna end up powdering a little bit just to make sure everything stays in place. This formula in this particular shade, it's the same price as the Flower Beauty one, so right at 10 bucks, but like if there's an Ulta Beauty like buy one get one half off sale, those are like always going on. Pick this up. It is so freaking gorgeous. For highlight, I brought also the Charlotte Tilbury like beauty light wand, but I also brought this NARS Motu Tane, I think it's how it's pronounced, face palette. And I've been using the bronzer and blush on top of these just to make sure everything stays, and it does stay pretty well. But oh my gosh, this highlight. It's their Makatea highlighting blush powder. Y'all, it's like the most unbelievable. I've worn it like every day since I tried it on this trip. I was like, oh my gosh. So I kind of want to put that on. Y'all have to see how pretty it is. But let me put this on after powder because I need to tamp down some of this shininess. So again, I'm using my Makeup Forever powder that I really do love. And you guys were telling me, hey, try it with the sponge. And it's gorgeous with the sponge too. It gives killer coverage. But I've been using this on the under eye, right around the nose for sure, all over the nose. It's about the only thing that'll help keep stuff on my nose. I think if I had redone what I packed, I would have packed a loose powder because I love this, and I would have packed this too. But I love this for coverage and for kind of tamping down the dewiness. But I do think if you put too much on, like for me, I needed a lot on, it can look a little bit cakier, and I don't know that it's necessarily extending the wear time of the makeup underneath. I think it just looks pretty as it is. So I kind of wish I had a loose powder for those areas, but then still use this maybe on my under eye and on my nose to give that coverage I like. But it's gorgeous. And then we're gonna go in with this highlight. This palette would be worth buying for this highlight alone, and I don't often say that. Do they sell this color as it is? It's so pretty. I know this lighting is so wonk. Don't yell at me. And I'll just kind of put a little bit up there, brow bone. I just feel like it's like way too much for every day for me. But for when you're on vacation, mascara. I brought the Essence Volume Stylist. I freaking love it. This one is like almost on its last leg, this mascara. I need to buy a new one. My mother-in-law was here with us the first half of the trip, and it was so much fun. And we were staying then at the Wilderness Lodge. She really liked my mascara, and I was like, oh, you'll never believe it. It's a $5 drugstore one, and it is the best. So she took a picture of it. I was like, I'm pretty sure you'll be able to find it at our, like the grocery store we all go to, Meijer, here where I live. I'm like, they sell it there. I'm like, actually, I need to get a new one too. But I just love it. It holds the curls so well. Looks good on the lower lash line. It doesn't smudge or leave little black dots unless it's crazy old, and even then I don't know that I've noticed it. I learned about this originally. I think Casey Holmes had mentioned it. but it's just so gorgeous. So we have one more day tomorrow. The hurricane was coming through, and like I said, in the end, it wasn't anything crazy here. But literally, as I'm filming this, it's working its way up the coast. Disney, you know, with an abundance of caution, closed down the parks a little bit early on the day it was supposed to hit, like around 3. So everyone was kind of holed up in their resort rooms. I mean, in the resort at least. And so, like, we just had pizza in our room. It was so much fun. We just got at, like, the counter service place here. And we watched Fantastic Beasts, Crimes of Grindelwald, which we had not seen yet. So that was fun, and we just had a glass of wine, and it was just so relaxing and enjoyable. And you could just kind of see a storm blowing through, but it wasn't anything crazy, thank goodness. Because of course there was a part of me that was a little anxious that could be way worse. Anyway, so a lot of people, turns out, evacuate here to Disney, and they can bring their dogs. Like, Disney allows it during times like that. They'll allow dogs at all their resorts. So there were just an abundance of doggies around. But I did film while I'm here, and actually today I'm going to film the intro and outro for it. I did film a, like, how to travel to Disney with a 1-year-old video, like from the plane ride, what you have to do, to, you know, what are things you should maybe think about buying, things that have made our life easier this 3rd trip we've taken her to Disney. Well, I can't find it. I brought my MAC lipstick in Modesty, which is one of the only MAC lipsticks I actually like. There are a few I like, Patisserie's another, but I'm kind of weird about MAC lipsticks. I also brought this Dose of Colors lip gloss in Messy Bun, my favorite, and it was actually in the diaper bag, and it was all, like, melted. I was like, ooh, but I just love this. But I brought a red lipstick, and usually, you know, sometimes I'll go out at night with the red lipstick, but this trip has just been so hands-on with her that it's just been a little more difficult. So I know the lighting was weird. Thank y'all for bearing with me. I hope you enjoyed. If you want to check out my old, it's not even that old, like from a few months ago, my Disney Get Ready With Me from then. We were staying at Saratoga Springs for the first time. I can link that below. That was really fun too, and I certainly brought a lot of different makeup that time. But I hope you'll subscribe if you did enjoy. If you're new to my channel, I'm Jessica. I upload 3 to 4 times a week. I do beauty and lifestyle videos. My husband has a channel. He does our vlogs and stuff over there when we're traveling, when we're in Disney, when we're at home, just all of it. I hope you'll check us out over there and support us. And other than that, I'll catch you guys in my next one. Bye.